What is up, guys? It's Naakie. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a lot different. Girl, don't lie to the people. This is going to be a lot different than my other videos. Normally I'm talking about hair or beauty or fashion or travel or something. But today's video, let me put my phone on silent so that we're not disrupted. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. So it's going to be a little chat, really podcast style, but just visual, just on camera. And I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about what I've been going through. I find it difficult to find a lot of like influencers out there talking about just like real life shit, like the stuff that we go through as young Black women, professionally, personally, mentally, physically, socially, like just like talking about the reallys of like what we're experiencing. And a lot of times my experiences will be different than your experiences, that might be different from the next person's experiences, but then a lot of things like we have in common as well. And a lot of times we're learning stuff as we're going through this journey called life, and we can just benefit from hearing each other's stories and like learning from each other's failures and learning from each other's mistakes so that we're not making those same mistakes. So yeah, I don't really know if this will be like a series or what it will be, but you know, drop some comments down below on like other things you guys would maybe want me to talk about. And I mean, it could be in the beauty hair realm. If it has to be. I'm not gonna stop doing hair videos and stuff like that, but you know, from like relationships to school to jobs to getting internships to just living your best life, like how, like self-love, like all that kind of stuff, you know, we can chat about. So, you know, let me know in the comments some things you want to talk about, and you know, we can chat. This is my third time filming this video. So hopefully the third time's a charm. The first time it was the length of the video. The second time, this new bike. What? Okay, so as I was saying that, my camera just stopped recording. So we're just gonna get through this video as quickly as possible so that we don't have any other malfunctions. I have my tea, I have some notes, and I have this wonderfully smelling ginger lemon candle from Candlefish that, you know, I love it so much. But anyways, yeah, so the title of this video is How I'm Learning to Be Joyful Through the Process. And originally I had happy through the process, but there is a big difference between joy and happiness. Happiness, I feel, is conditional. It's momentary. It's circumstantial. It is, I found $100 bill on the ground. I'm happy. I got that new promotion. I'm happy. I got 1,000 likes on my last Instagram post. I am ecstatic. But when things are not going good, or when that high, like that happiness high has kind of like worn off, you're back to this feeling of just like blah, of like unhappiness, of being discontent. Joy is a whole nother thing. To me, joy is spiritual. Joy is a mindset that can't be shaken or changed by circumstances. And whether you're in the highest of highs, the lowest of valleys, you're joyful. The worst crap can be going on around you, but you're still able to find the gratitude in the things that you do have, because at the end of the day, we all at minimum have life and we have breath. And when you have life and you have breath, there's nowhere to go but up, you know? So that's why I decided to title this How I'm Learning to Be Joyful Through the Process. And by process, I just mean the process of getting from where you want to be versus where you actually are in life today. And for me right now, there's a huge gap. So call it 10 years ago, because I'm about to be 28. So 10 years ago, when I graduated high school and I was like starting my freshman year at Georgia Tech, I had a vision for my life. It was clear as day, I promise. It was, by 27, get married. By 30, have like 1 or 2 kids, and like own your own business and be the boss, and like employ other successful Black women. Like, I had this whole vision for my life. Am I there yet? Not quite. Not quite. I am honestly kind of far from that. So my expectations versus my reality is a gap. There's a gap here. And what it takes to get from my reality to my expectations, that's what I'm calling the process. And the process for me is not just, it's multifaceted. Let's just be blunt about it. Like, it's my relationship goals, it's my career goals, it's my personal, like anything and everything you can think of. Probably there's some sort of gap there. And that's just what the process is. And I think a lot of people get down when they're in the process, because there's this whole like microwavable success, instant gratification sort of culture that we live in today, driven a lot by social media and just by media in general, and by like these overnight success stories and things like that. I mean, it makes sense why people feel that way, but that doesn't necessarily justify it or make it any more realistic, because it's not realistic if we're being realistic. So yeah, that's what I'm calling the process. So in this part of the video, I'm going to tell you 3 things that I've learned while being in the process, the 3 things that I've uncovered that make the process a lot less painful and a lot more enjoyable, and it make you a lot more grateful for the actual process versus the destination. And the second part of this video, which I'm not really sure when I'm going to film it, but hopefully soon, I'm going to talk to you guys about very practical, applicable things that I do in my day-to-day life, that allow me personally to find joy in the process, and to cultivate a joyful life, even though I'm not where I want to be in life. So that'll be the next part of this video, but I want to keep this short and simple and to the point. So I just have 3 main points that I want to talk through, and my computer keeps glitching. So I hope and pray that it doesn't mess up this time, because if it does, y'all ain't gonna see this video like ever, probably. All right, so the first thing I know to be true about the process is that everyone goes through a season of obscurity. So when I first started getting really down on myself and feeling like consistently down about where I am in life and feeling kind of like purposeless, someone sent me this video, and it's just a conversation between TD Jakes and Stephen Furtick. I don't really know how you pronounce it, but it's a conversation around TD Jakes' new book called Crushing. It might be new. It could have been an old video. I'm pretty sure it's a new video though. I'll leave it in the link below. If there's anyone that is going through a process right now, trying to close the gap between their reality versus their expectations, you should watch that video. So I'll leave it in the links down below. But in that video, he talks about the season of obscurity. So the first point is that everyone goes through a season of obscurity. And I wrote down what obscurity means to me. And to me, obscurity is a time or period in life when you're feeling overlooked, unheard, and undervalued. It's when you feel like you have skills and you have abilities and you can achieve this goal, but you feel overlooked. You feel like no one quite sees me for all I'm worth. And a lot of times that's a very valid feeling. Sometimes I do think that you have to just like reevaluate yourself and really look at do you feel like, are your feelings and the truth actually, do they line up? Like, the value that you bring to the table, do you really feel that way, or are you just overvaluing yourself? That could be a thing. But a lot of times, I mean, I do feel like people have a lot of value to bring, and they can achieve really big things, but no one sees them, no one hears them. They don't have the stage to give everything they have to give, all the worth that they have to give to the people that could really use it and really do need it. It's an extremely valid feeling, in my opinion. And he just talks about how that season is a blessing. Like, it is not a curse, it is a blessing. And he likens it to an embryo, right, in a woman's stomach. And as it's developing, it's covered, it's protected, it is literally obscure. You cannot see it. It's in a woman's stomach. And if you expose an embryo to the world too soon, prematurely, the chances of surviving are less than when that embryo is fully developed and ready to be exposed. And I feel like this is kind of like what I've had to learn about where I am in life, is like, there's some stuff that I need to deal with. There are some ways that I need to develop, whether it's my skill set, whether it's my discipline, whether it's the routines that I need to have set in place and actually do every day to make sure that I'm productive every day, whether it's relationships that I need to mend, whether it's strengthening my spiritual life, like whether it's like strengthening my physical self and like creating a workout routine. Like, there's so many things that I need to work on, that if I was just exposed to some level of success or exposed to a certain platform that I'm not ready for, like, girl, you are going to falter. You are going to fail. You are going to, just as quickly as you got there, not be there anymore, because, you know, like, you failed. So, obscurity is a blessing. The season of obscurity is a blessing. That's kind of where I feel like I am right now. And through that video, I've learned to see it as a blessing and to see it as a positive versus a negative. God protects anything that's valuable to him, right? So he protects you until you're ready to be exposed to the people, to the opinions, to the feedback, to the scrutiny. Because, I mean, people are mean, people are rude. And if you're not mentally ready for that, a lot of times it can kill your morale. It can destroy you. So yeah, obscurity, that season of obscurity, everyone goes through it, girl. You are not alone, and it's a blessing. And use that time to develop yourself, because you do not want to be in a place on a platform too early, or else, like, you're just gonna mess up your chance. You're gonna mess up your shot. You're gonna, you know, it's just not gonna be a good look, baby girl. It's just not gonna be a good look. So that's number one. Number two is comparison will keep you in the process. And this is something, I mean, maybe not for everyone, but again, this is just me. And as I've been reflecting, something that I've had to notice is that I compare myself to people so much. It is honestly unhealthy. So I looked up the stat, and the average person spends about 3 hours on social media, and that's 21 hours a week. So essentially like 24 hours. So like, imagine if like just all day Sunday from 12 o'clock midnight to the next day, 12 o'clock midnight, you just scroll through your phone, just like looking at this Instagram baddie with these big boobs and that big butt, and this girl with this super straight hair, and this girl who just won this award, and oh, this person just got this TV series, and oh, this person just got married, and oh, that person just got that new job, and oh, this person just had their kid, and that kid is so freaking adorable, or oh my gosh, they just bought their dream home and they are living lavish, or oh, like this person just went on this amazing vacation to Bora Bora. Like, it can get draining. And all it does is it makes you focus on what you don't have, and it's I think it's impossible to focus on what you don't have and focus on what you do have. So when you're constantly focusing on what you don't have and what other people do have, which, mind you, what they're showing is only their highlights, right? They're not showing their full lives. They're not showing the crappy, shitty part of their lives. They're showing their highlights. So you're comparing your real life, you at home in like sweats and t-shirt and a bonnet on, like eating junk food and watching TV all day, versus their lively, dynamic, sort of desirable lives. Like, it's not there. That's not reality. But what you're doing is you're comparing what you don't have to what they do have. And when you do that and you don't focus on what you do have, you get stuck. You get stuck trying to chase the things and the reality, or like the highlights of other people's lives. And that's not necessarily a path that God has set for you. Like, girl, like, I've had to realize it is not my ministry to be an Instagram baddie. Like, it's just not. I'm just not built that way. I don't look that way. I've tried. I haven't really tried. But, like, I just know that's not my ministry. That's not my blessing. That's not the value that I'm supposed to be bringing to the world. Like, it's just, it's not. But if I was, like, trying to, like, I don't know, like, go get an Instagram baddie body and clothes and all that stuff, like, I'm not fulfilling what my true purpose is in life. So I'm going down this side road when I'm really supposed to be going down a road that is leading me to and through the next process and leading me on the path of my purpose. But I'm not, because, like, I'm over here trying to chase somebody else's purpose or chase somebody else's blessing. Like, that's what comparison does. It makes you chase and covet and want other people's blessings, as opposed to just focusing on your own. And when you focus on what you're good at, what your unique skills and abilities are, what your unique value is to the world, the more you focus on that, the faster you'll get through your process. Because like J. Cole says, like, good news is you went a long way. Bad news is you went the wrong way. So you don't have to turn back around because you done went the wrong way. You done went down some Instagram baddies path that you wasn't supposed to be going down. So you got to turn back around and then go on the path that was set for you. And that just takes getting through the process longer. So yeah, I've had to unfollow people. I've had to stop consuming certain people's content. Like, I've had to just kind of pull myself back intentionally, because there are certain people that I'm just, like, always comparing myself to, particularly with my skin, because it's been breaking out like crazy. And that's something I'm so conscious about, that I've had to, like, this girl's skin is perfect. Like, she ain't doing nothing for me but making me feel bad about my skin. So I gotta unfollow you, girl. Sorry. So yes, comparison will keep you in the process. So stop comparing yourself and trying to get what ain't meant for you. Stop trying to go down paths that were not meant for you to walk down. And then the last and final note about what I know to be true about the process, number 3, is I can't talk. You have to accept the fact that you will always be in a process. And in that same video with TD Jakes, he says, the reward for overcoming one challenge is a new challenge. For every new level, there's a new devil. And I feel like the new level, new devil thing, like, is some, like, old proverb that I'm sure we've all heard from, like, mama, auntie, grandma, somebody. But it's so true. And I mean, it's not a bad thing, because ultimately when you overcome a challenge, when you get through one process and you successfully achieve it, you're going to set a new goal, right? Like, if you're not learning, if you're not growing, if you're not developing, you're dead, essentially, like, mentally. So we all want to overcome one thing, and then we're going to set a new goal and have to overcome that, or face a new issue and overcome that. For example, I just got a new job. it's an amazing job, an amazing role. But once I got over the challenge of getting the job, then it's like, how do I do the job well? Because it's slightly different than what I've done before. So it's like, I've got to learn the lingo. I've got to learn the terminology. Like, there's so many things I have to learn in order to actually be good at the job and make sure that I'm not just delivering, but over delivering. And then once I get to that point and I know the job and I do it well and I've delivered as much value as I could possibly deliver in that role, it's how do I get to the next role? So there's always going to be a new challenge that you have to overcome. But if your mind is always so set on the destination of like, I'm not there yet, so I'm not happy until I get there. And then once you get there, the next thing you're going to want to get to, you're not going to be happy until you get there. Like, you're always going to be unhappy. You're always going to feel like you don't have purpose. You're always just going to kind of feel like dissatisfied until you get to the next thing, but there's always going to be a next thing. So you have to kind of find joy in lots of things, because let's be real, if you put all of your value into a job or getting this new role or having this successful relationship, and you don't, and that thing fails, you're gonna feel purposeless. If I put all my value into a man and a relationship with him, and then it fails, but that's where I put all of my value, then when that relationship fails, I'm gonna be sitting around like, well, now what? Like, I'm purposeless, you know? So you have to find joy and find like self-worth and self-value in lots of different things. And that's just kind of like how you make sure that in every single process, whether you overcome it or whether you don't overcome it and have to like change paths or something, you're always still joyful. Like, at the crux of it, at the most simple state of your being, you're joyful. So yeah, don't always just kind of be looking for the next thing. Like, enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, enjoy being in the process, and know that when you get to that, when you overcome that process, when you get to the end of it, you're going to open the door, and what's going to be waiting for you? A new challenge, a new process, a new thing to overcome. So you just got to find joy in like getting there. Just find joy in getting there. So yeah, that's really it for this video. Those are the 3 things that I know or I know to be true about the process from being in the process for so long. And also, the process is going to be different for some people. Some people work at something and literally in a week, it's like you're there. You're like the millionaire that you wanted to be, like whatever. But for some people it takes longer, and that's fine. That just gives you more time to hone in on your skills and develop yourself and get your ish together and get yourself right for when that thing that you want is finally attained. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up because it's free 99. Also, let me know down below again what else, what other things do you guys want me to talk about, and also if you would listen to this without the video, because one thing about filming is I do have a 9-to-5, so I really can only film on the weekends or in the evenings if I'm up to it, like if I have enough energy. But if I just do audio and post it to YouTube, then I can do it in my pajamas. I can do it like at any time of the day. Like, you know, I can do it a lot more. So if you would watch this with just the audio, let me know and I can do that. And yeah, hopefully we are back to our regularly scheduled program of me on YouTube every week, posting videos, and feels good to be back. Definitely feels good to be back. So I will see you guys in my next video. Peace. My tea is so cold now. Ew.